Hello, everyone. It's me, the President of the United States, Grover Cleveland. This is Ink the Book Show, the only show that fixes the hole in the ozone layer. Listen up. You can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And if you like his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon. The link for these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you. Ah.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Hey, party people, let's ink the book show. We got a book to ink. We're inking the book.
We're finishing this page yesterday and starting the next page. I'm afraid it's been a lot of days this week that I haven't been quite finishing the page that I've assigned to the day. But let's see, if I don't finish the second page today, I'll have time to catch up tomorrow. Just a lot of stuff going on this week. I met my baby niece, my new niece, last night, Juniper. It was wonderful, but won't open her eyes because she's mean. Okay. Stupid newborn baby. Doesn't even know how to open her eyes yet. She knows, she just won't. Let's see. She's just a jerk. I almost said something too mean. Too mean for a newborn baby. I almost said, I wish she was dead. But you shouldn't say that about newborn babies, especially ones you love. Okay, so I got ink, I got tea. I'm barely alive, but let's ink. This Ink the Book Show ain't gonna ink this book itself. Look, they're little farm people now. What happened? They're farm people now. They were city people. Let's see. I want look how I drew. I drew her as wearing shorts in this scene, like little overall shorts. Stupid light. And then it's like she has legs that combine into her little ghost tail. But I think I'm just gonna make it like a little jean skirt, because that's less stupid. Okay. So this is Petunia, Bonehead's girlfriend throughout the book. So as hanging out with my brother and my sister-in-law and their boys, and so I was going over there to bring a present for the newborn baby. I just got her this little teddy bear, and it's wearing like a little pink onesie. It's got a hood that you can put on and take off. And then I gave them a gift card for their new child expenses. And I brought Oreo cookies. They weren't Oreos though. They were almost like sugar cookie style. They were good. I like anything Oreo. Let's see. If you don't like Oreo, you're probably a barbarian. That's how you tell somebody's a psychopath. They're like, "Oh, Oreos? No, I'm good. Eat the Oreo. Eat the Oreo. Eat the Oreo, or I can't have you in my house among the people I love." It'd be irresponsible on my part. I'm not getting them all hacked up. That's what I say about bacon too. Like somebody's like, "Oh, I'm vegan," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you eat bacon, right?" I'm like, "No, vegan." Get out of my house. Get out of my house. I turn into Frank Costanza from Seinfeld. I've been watching Seinfeld on Netflix here and there. Though I haven't watched it in a few days. But it's a really good show. It's a really funny show. I mean, I remember watching it when I was a kid, when it was like live, you know? I mean, when it was actually still happening. And everybody loved it then. It was like, I didn't think I would be as into it as I am. It's funny. Who knew? No one, that's who. It's my little discovery. I unlocked the secret. Seinfeld is funny. Okay. There's a little basket here for her space vegetables. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that. I feel like the lighting is terrible right now. I have all my lights on. I don't feel like it's extra crummy this morning. Afternoon. It's afternoon already. Tea. So my when I got to my brother's place yesterday, my sister-in-law had to run the baby to a little doctor's appointment, and I was with the three boys, and they I I don't know how my brother and her do it, because they really do stay on top of these three, now four kids really well. But like when I'm there, I'm just kind of in awe at how they're handling them, and they're handling them really well, and they're really young for kids. I mean, they're not like too young for kids, but they're young parents, and their kids are all 5 and under. And but anyway, so I'm left alone with the three boys, and the middle boy, he comes up to me, and he's like, can I show you a magic trick? I was like, yeah, show me a magic trick. I want to see magic. And he has this like fish toy. I don't know, this like little fish, and he's like, okay, you see it? I was like, yes. He goes, okay, now look away. So I look to the sky. He goes, okay, look down. And I look back, and he's holding his hands out. And there's no fish. The fish was gone. I said, oh my gosh, you made it disappear. And he pulled it out of his pants. He goes, yeah, I made it disappear into my butt cheeks. It's like, ooh, get it away from me. I told my brother that, and he's like, yeah, he's obsessed with his butt cheeks. Yeah, the one who's the sweetest kid in the world, lately he's always talking about, I farted. Or yesterday at one point, we're watching something on TV, and he turns to me, he goes, I just picked my nose. Cool. I don't know. I should, when I was in 5th grade, I found out about this book series called, what was it called? Barforama. And they were like little chapter books. It turns out the author was the same guy, K.A. Applegate, who did the Transformers, not Transformers, what do you call them? Animorphs books. But yeah, there were these books, and I loved coming across them and reading them in my 5th grade class, because I had never heard of them otherwise. It's also the same class I found out about Captain Underpants. So Captain Underpants must have just come out when I was in 5th grade. And Captain Underpants is still a thing. I saw it on it was on Netflix when we were browsing yesterday, when I was with the kids. But yeah, so there's this book series called Barforama, and every book was about one of 5 bodily functions, but they were like supernatural, crazy stories. Like, I think I remember one of the books ending in a whirlwind of barf, of puke. and I should dig those up for my nephew. I think he would think they were really funny. Oops. I drew on my space pear here, or whatever it is. I do have to leave. I do have to end this stream. Let's see. In, I'll say 2.5 hours, which should. Okay. I just want to make sure I don't get too in the zone and forget that I have somewhere to be when the time comes. So I had to set an alarm for me. Because I be forgetting everything I ought to be doing. Oh, hey, Crimson. How is it that you are? So, last night, my nephews, they're always talking about sleeping over. They always want me to sleep over when I go over there. I'm like, I can't. But I read them like a billion books. They just kept pulling out books for me to read. I read first. The plan was to read Too Many Days by Dr. Seuss, which is in the Sneetches and Other Stories. I'm doing good. Yes, I met my niece. I gave her this little teddy bear wearing a pink onesie, and it has a hood that you can put on and off. It's really cute. And I gave my my brother and sister-in-law a gift card. And I brought the boys these like, they're like cake cookies. They were kind of like sugar cookies, but Oreo flavored. Like the main cookie was like the Oreo cookie, and then it had like the sugar cookie kind of frosting on top, but it was all the cream. They were good. And she is so cute. She's light as a feather too. But she I didn't see her with her eyes open once the whole time. I guess she's only opened them for my brother at one point. Or a couple times, but they said they're pretty sure she has green eyes. But I started reading them. The plan was to read them Too Many Days. We have this this book called Hatful of Seuss, and my uncle got it for us years ago for Christmas one year, and it's got 5 Dr. Seuss books. Bet you didn't feel like a feather coming out, though. No, probably not. That I kind of thought that. I was like, man, she's so light, and then I was like, but can you imagine just her sitting in your belly for 9 months, getting bigger and bigger up until she was this big, and then she's just there. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can imagine how this weight would get old. But yeah, they wanted me to read. I think it's part of Sneetches and Other Stories. There's a little poem. I think it's one page too, called Too Many Daves, where a woman has, 23 boys and she named them all Dave. It's like what she should have done was name them this and that and this and this. It's just a bunch of funny names. And I guess they've been really into that story lately because they like all the funny names. So I started reading that, and then I read The Sneetches. I think that's all I read out of that book. And let's see. Then they started handing me all kinds of weird little, those board books, those like cardboard books. One was just about like safety vehicles, and it had all the opening little windows with more information. And it was just like, this isn't even a story. And I had been telling my brother how my knee wasn't hurting since I got these insoles, or my knees haven't been hurting. And then after dealing with them, like I tried to get up off the floor, and oh, my knees were killing me. But I feel good now. Let's see, this is her hand here. Space carrot. So I think I am gonna make these black, these mountains. That's how I sketched it. But then I was having second thoughts on making them black yesterday. But I also keep thinking it needs something else. This panel, that is. There's that. So you need to get some black throughout your page to kind of weigh it down. Otherwise, everything kind of turns kind of gray if you don't get some blacks in there. Or like change up the line weights and stuff. It just kind of all gets too samey. it kind of like your eye kind of like glosses over it. There's kind of nowhere for it to go. No point of interest. It kind of just commands your eye's attention a little more when you have stuff directing it. Okay. Space Farm, baby Space Farm. I don't know why I always go to Love Shack, but it's a good song on a good album. Space Farm, baby. Okay. And my sister just invited me to a pool party next week. I gotta make sure I can go. Let's see, because if I don't, my family will chop me up into pieces. It's not the best relationship, but it could be worse. They could be the type that would chop me up even if I did go. You know what I mean? Some people have that type of family and they just put up with it. Beauteous. Beauteous Maximus. Beauty. Let's see. You said, what do you need? What do I need? Beauty fades. There's a thing that what is it? G.K. Chesterton says. Let me find it. Chesterton. I want to find it because I won't do it justice if I don't. Let's see, England. Oh, I'll never find it. But the idea is that he says that, like something like he came to England and didn't find it very beautiful or something like that, and then he like went away and thought. I think he's just telling a story of like how someone went somewhere and hated the place, and then they went back out to sea and then came back. It ended up back in the same place and didn't recognize it. And the moral of the story, whatever it was that I'm butchering, was that but England had not changed. I had changed. And I was able to see the beauty now. So, maybe read Chesterton instead of listening to me. I don't know. That might have been a good story if I knew how to tell it. I was trying to look it up, but I was not finding it. And that's kind of part of the moral in Doug TenNapel's Creature Tech, which was his first big graphic novel. It's actually his second graphic novel, but it's... I don't know what I mean. I'm half asleep. What time is it there, Crimson? Over in La La Land. That's actually probably LA. But you're over in Australia. It's 1:30 a.m. I just forget, you're like an hour difference from me on the other end of the clock. Because if that makes any sense, I'm 12:30 p.m. I think I found how I'm trying to do this. Though I'm doing it kind of ugly anyway. What's Bonehead's girlfriend planting? She's picking just some random space fruits. This looks like a carrot. But then in this basket there's all like weird shaped strange vegetables. Let's see. And then these are all little sprouts poking through. Yay! I just looked up and saw there's a million more of these. I think at a point, I think I'm gonna grab a pen just so it's a little finer toward the back. So there's that. Oh, I did download OBS, but it turns out I don't know any of my sign-ins at the moment, so I couldn't set it up. But I'll get to the bottom of all that. Okay. Oh, which one? I guess for social media I need a password book because I never had a problem with it before, but I think a while back I had to like change some emails on them, and then I had to like with Twitch I had to change my password to something preposterous like 3 or 4 times. And it's like I couldn't use any of my standby passwords. So I have no idea what it is. Just OBS, I think. Yeah. That's all free, is that right? And you can use multiple. Can you use multiple cameras on it? That's what I was trying to find out. Because if it's free, why am I using StreamYard, which I pay something each month for, and I'm not even able to use multiple cameras? I mean, I have this camera, and why did I think I had something else? I have this camera. I think it'd be neat if I could use this camera and my computer monitor simultaneously. Yeah, she says, yep. I've not paid for any of the stuff I use for streaming. Interesting. Okay. I don't know why all these streamers that I have followed, they prefer to use StreamYard. But now, like, lately I'm less clear on why. I know they've also used OBS, and yet they use StreamYard a lot. Like, mostly. Now, when I got StreamYard, I didn't know there was any difference between them. I thought StreamYard was OBS software just for not understanding it. Sprouts. Life is a garden. Dig it. Mr. Hughes says, live and learn. Dig and be dug in return. Here's some kind of dirt. Mhm. Give these a little shadow. For they are present. Yeah, my sister was trying to have a pool party like I think a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. And no, it was a month ago. And she and her fiance got COVID and they had to cancel, wrecking everybody's lives. Mom stuck a fork right into Dad's shoulder. Dad threw garbage all across the floor. No, that's from a song by Neutral Milk Hotel. Yeah, they rescheduled. I need to pull some strings to be able to go to that. Okay. Oh, hey, there's somebody else here. Thank you, Lauritz. I feel like I've seen you before. Is that right? Ghost girl collecting root vegetables stretching out towards the mountains. Is this death symbolism stacked on top of each other? Maybe. Subconsciously? I need to make her a little more. I need to make her stand out from the background a little. More little thingies. I'm subconsciously obsessed with death. That's one explanation. Maybe I'm just obsessed. I really don't know why a skeleton and a ghost and a devil and an alien are like the main characters of this world. It's just whatever I felt like drawing when I was designing the characters, kind of. And like when you see regular show, like they've got a raccoon and a blue jay, and then their boss is a gumball machine, and then Muscle Man is like a Frankenstein looking weirdo, and then there's High Five Ghost. Maybe people like me and JG Quintel are just psychos. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Though I feel like his is more random for the sake of random. And mine was like, this kind of goes together. But maybe I'm biased. This is starting to feel like cheating, using the pen too much. I'm going back to the brush. Besides, my brush is going to get all crusty and hard to use if I leave it. There's something... Oh, you have stopped by once before. I thought I recognized the name. There's something interesting to cartoon expression. Knowable at a glance, but not realistic. Expressive, but not impressionistic in itself. It is sort of interesting that it's more of something that it is than an immediate expression of it. I think I do remember you. I remember you talking about cartoons before. Let's see, noble at a glance, but not realistic. Yeah. And there's something really cool about when you can pull that off really well. Like, this doesn't look realistic at all, but like, we all know we all know that this is a star, and this is a heart. There is no mistaking that that is a star and that is a heart. But that is not what a star and a heart look like. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a lot of cartooning is finding that shorthand for everything, in a way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you because you kind of talk about cartoons like how I feel about cartoons, where it's like, to me, a lot of cartoons are, well, I don't know about a lot of cartoons, but there's something to cartoons that is profoundly important to me, even though it's silly nonsense kind of stuff. But it like I always talk about, Ren and Stimpy is like tremendously beautiful to me, in spite of its ugliness and weirdness and like goofy nonsensicalness. But there's something I can't quite always convey about it, that it's like deeply important to me and insanely like beautiful overall. I don't know how to express it sometimes. Like, it's important. It's like one of the most important forces in my life, Ren and Stimpy. Even though I haven't watched it in forever at this point, but I said, I hear you. That bucket you drew was not something anyone who made a bucket would make. But it says it's a bucket, more than an actual bucket in some way. It's silly nonsense, but it's also something that says things about things themselves. Like the gesture, speak truth to something we fail to through nonsense. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure that looks like it's working enough to me. It's easier for me to kind of like step back by looking at it through the camera sometimes. Okay, I think I'm liking it. Just being busy. Just noodling. Noodle, 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 noodle. Will it ever be done? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Because you said, like the gestures speak truth to something we fail to see through nonsense. Yeah, okay, that helps. I It's strange how much we fail to see that is apparent once a taboo falls away. Cartoons are innocent and thus removed from the everyday. Yeah. There's apparent once taboo falls away. And I was kind of saying something about that earlier. I was trying to touch on that earlier, a little inarticulately, but I was talking about I butchered some story that G.K. Chesterton tells at the beginning of what is it called? Orthodoxy, where the point is that like England was always beautiful. I just didn't see it before, but now I have changed and can see the beauty. Right? Is that relevant? Sometimes I have a hard time following my brain back to where I was going. Okay. Maybe get some ink off the brush. Maybe more. There we go. Bored. I'm bored. Okay, I'm not really bored. I'm just like half dad. I'm not a dad, but I was born with a dad brain, maybe. Isn't that the way of so much? We see beauty in things once we crest a certain hill. Michelangelo said something like, I'm not a man of perfect faith, but by coming to see the beauty in his creation, my eyes and mind wander on towards heaven most high. Yeah, I hear that. Because it's like, I drive around sometimes, like when I'm driving to work or something. It's usually when I start, like, I'll be like looking at the trees and stuff. And I'm like, I sit around this stuff all day and I don't realize how good it is until I can't be in it. Like, I've got places to go. I'm like, look how beautiful the clouds are. Look how beautiful the trees are. And it's just like, I don't know. It makes me just so, like, I just feel like when I start looking around and noticing the beauty of nature, I like a loving force created this and created me to enjoy it. I don't know. I just get really, really. I'm just so grateful for, like, because, like, I have terrible vision even, yet I get to see. I don't know. There's a lot to be grateful for, and beauty is one of those things. Said, you're not religious yourself, but you do. But I do think they have more to them than philosophers if they are sincere. We are fundamentally beings of the mind, and the world is assumed. We can't live out there, or we can't live out there, but our mind is what we are and all we can ever be. Yeah. We're fundamentally beings of the mind, and the world is assumed. Like that. zoning in. Trying to make this look like a well. Because it's a dog. That's why I'm trying to make it look like a well. It's how I view art in its forms. It's a grasping of the world to who we are. If we frolic, we can find more to it and be about it another way. Not saying that structure is useless, but that we need a relationship to it. I'm just trying to think of a response. Don't mind me. I feel like I have something to add to what you're saying, and I can't quite place what I'm trying to. What I want to say. Um, I have something at least tangentially related in my head somewhere. I can't find the thought. Sorry, my brain powered down. I feel like I start. Here's what I think happens to me. I've said this before. I think maybe in like elementary school or something, I developed a thing where I'm afraid of sounding stupid, and then my brain just kind of shuts off, and I don't know how to articulate myself anymore. So I think if I ever just run out of stuff to say, like, and it's usually like when I'm trying to argue a point, like suddenly I can't. Like but if I'm like talking to myself around the house, I'll be like, and another thing, like like I'll suddenly have all A, B, C, all my points lined up. So I don't know. I think it's like a defense mechanism. My brain started building years ago, and now I'm trying to get myself out of it, but it doesn't. It seems like it's hard sometimes. The world seems to be made up of mathematics. We flow and interact in ways towards chaos and peace, but not rules. We're intertwined, but not the same as where we live. Interesting. You're saying people are different than, like, physical people are different than the physical world? Is that it? Or just you're saying our minds are different than the physical world? I think is actually what you're saying. It's probably good in some ways. Part of it is like, I think, I probably don't want to hurt people's feelings or say something that isn't well thought out or something. And it's probably saved me from saying something stupid in the past. But at the same time, I'd like to say what's on my mind. So, the mind is different from the physical world, yes. The physical world is fixed, right? The mind can hardly ever be fixed. That I definitely agree with that. Like, I don't know, like, what I don't see a dead universe generating me. It's such a strange thing. Like, protozoa and goldfish and dandelions, sure. Like, they consume resources like information. Like when they eat, it's just kind of like it's like robotic. It's like it's the universe moving kind of stuff and expanding and perpetuating itself. But I feel like people or something else. And I don't know what goes on in the mind of a goldfish. I feel bad for lumping the goldfish in with protozoa and whatever else I said, dandelions. Maybe they're a little more conscious than those things. But I feel like people that like humans that create and like have such an imagination to bring to I don't know, to build pyramids and invent cars and supercomputers and gigantic missiles and airplanes and can make highly articulated new mechanical limbs for people and artificial hearts. That's something entirely different than anything else in the universe, right? As far as we know. But we don't act on physical impulse alone, but mainly that weird mind stuff that flows and is so largely unknown to us. Mm-hmm. Oddly, we find ourselves being surprised by our mind all the time when we turn towards it. Why do we paint as we do? And that's something like, the earliest men alive were creative. They were painting on the walls. Like, yeah, I think there's something really um, special about the human mind. It's like we almost don't belong here, and we're almost trying to. It's like we're trying to figure out what we're where we you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like necessarily take it to a religious place, but it just, it's like we're yearning for something beyond this world. He said they did paint. They didn't just hunt and eat, but painted the hunts and more that meant something to them. Yeah. It means that something of going out hunting was more. It was part of who they were and what they did. Yeah, it's like it's not you know, we breathe, we poop, we eat, but nothing we're not required to like paint and tell stories, and like we might even be required to communicate. That might just be part of living, but the creativity is that's like extracurricular, like that's almost a strange thing to come out of the rocks and particles of the universe, our imagination. A mollusk might simply feed and birth. We are self-evidently more, and even suffer to do art if we are self-aware enough. Yeah. Turned away, in some ways, from mechanical survival at our core. Here's this page. I am going to try and get another page in. How much time do I have? I think I'm giving myself another hour. So this is page 2. Well, it says 210. Let me see. I'm gonna. Wait, oh man, I did something I didn't want to do. I opened iTunes. I'm gonna try and throw something up here while I go to the bathroom. I know him. Sorry, iTunes opened up. Okay. While I go to the bathroom, I'm gonna play a chunk of this Bonehead cartoon, which I was watching with my nephews yesterday, and I'm just cringing the whole time because it's so trashy. But anyway, enjoy this for a minute while I run to the bathroom.
ya?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, thanks, Mort. How'd it go anyway? Mort? Mort?
Bonehead,
Yes?
come with me. Mr. Shivers would like to have a word with you.
Mort? What happened?
Hello, I'm back. So, got another cup of tea heating. We're starting a new page. My nephews wanted to watch that cartoon when I came over yesterday. So we put it on, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so rough." I was proud of this. It's alright. Cowpoke Bonehead. On the Discord yesterday, I posted late last night, I posted on my Discord there's a nostalgia channel because I'm so nostalgic for a lot of stuff from the 90s mostly. But I posted a picture of battle trolls, which me and my brother were collecting in the early 90s. So they were like troll dolls, but they were marketed to boys. So they were like boxers and vampires, and there was a Terminator one, there was a Sea Captain one, and they were all like real tough looking and snarly and stuff. There's a Cyclops one that I still have in my house. And it just popped into my head. I don't think there was ever a cowboy one, which seems weird to me that was never one of them. They have like 4 army trolls, I think, across the 3 series that they did. See, I always forget. So I always forget the side that buttons go on a men's shirt. So it is. I'm gonna grab one. I think it's the same as Denton Crux's and Mr. Shivers's jacket. In which case I drew it right there. And yes, I did. Okay. Back in the closet. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was doing that properly. I want I want to put his arm past where his body goes a little bit. Because I want it to line up perfectly because it wouldn't work. It would create a tangent. Okay. I was going to say something about my nephews, but I don't really know what. So this is a spoilery page if I get to the end of it today. I was kind of trying not to show the bottom of the page earlier. Because it does have a big spoiler for the end of the book. So, you have been alerted. Oh! All the yawning all of a sudden. Give his cheek a little more zhuzh. Dead air. Dead air. Listen to how quiet I can be. Dead air. Dead air. What was it yesterday? There was something with my nephews where I said something to the youngest one. Oh, what was it? We were playing with monster trucks, and the baby, the 1-year-old, he took one and he stuck it on my arm, so like the wheels were holding it perfectly on my arm. And I said, "Oh, it's an armored truck. Get it? An armored truck." And him and his older brother just kind of like looked at me and stared in silence for like they were also animated the whole time I was there. For the hours I was there, they just kind of like stopped and looked at me, dead silence. All of a sudden, I just did that. Still nothing. But then the one nephew was like, "Oh yeah, I get it. Uh-huh." I was like, "You don't get it." I don't need your pity. So I guess my brother was telling me that one day he came home from work and his fiance was sitting on the couch with a microphone. Like they've got this mat for all the monster trucks, and it's got like it looks like where monster trucks drive. It's like a Monster Jam mat. So it's like it looks like dirt, and it's got hills and bumps and ramps and stuff on it. And they're like playing with monster trucks on there and doing flips and stuff. And their mom is sitting on the couch when my brother comes home, and she's got this like karaoke microphone, and she's like she's like doing the announcing, like, oh, and number 83 just flipped over the center of the arena, and like, and it's got this like just appropriate amount of echo to it, and it's like he just walked in and was just like so delighted by by it. It's like she's just living up being a boy mom while she still can, because she just had her first daughter. They just had their first daughter. Who I just met yesterday. That's what I was doing there. Okay. Drawing, drawing, drawing my life away. There we go. So I watched what do you call it? The Bob's Burgers movie the other day, a couple nights ago, and there's that character Mickey that's voiced by Bill Hader on the show, and when his character came on in the movie, I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like Bill Hader. It's a really good impression of Bill Hader doing that voice. It's not Bill Hader. And I was right. Nailed it. It was really good. But not good enough to fool me. There was another one of his voices in the movie somewhere. I don't remember what, because I barely watched the show lately. But I don't think I've seen anything from the last 3 seasons or so. But there's another character that I was like, that's another Bill Hader voice, but that one sounds like it would have fooled me. I would have thought that was Bill Hader if I didn't know any better. I should make his hat like super duper tall, like Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Now I'm just king pop culture all of a sudden. Petunia, you're wearing a sun hat and gardening. On some farm out in space, Petunia. You know what I realized last night, actually? I need to make a Grover Cleveland shirt. Here he is introducing every show. And I'm not showing him any love. I was thinking of making one of Grover Cleveland going,
Get killed.
and then it would say Ink the Book Show on the back. Or maybe one of him just saying,
Ink the Book Show.
your face isn't lined up, Grover. What's up?
I'm fine. Leave me alone, mate. Ah.
All right. The president, everyone. Oh, her hair would be right here. So that's gonna... I forgot the layers. This drawer is a mess. I need to clean this drawer out. Okay. Overalls. She's wearing herself a pair of overalls. That was terrible. Who said I'm not terrible, though? Overalls. She's got herself a brand new pair of overalls. Ain't she cute? I was saying, I think yesterday, before this book, I'd never drawn her in anything other than her waitress uniform. So it's cool that I've gotten to put her into so many different costumes. In this story. I mean, that's, she's in her waitress uniform, then she's wearing that dress for a big chunk, and then there's some memories that we see of Bonehead's where she's wearing a cute little coat. I don't know. Makes me feel like she's a real character in real fake life. Like on the TV or something. It's like a wicker hat or something. Wicker? Not wicker. Right? Not wicker. I don't know what I'm... Like a straw hat. Or something. I don't know. She's like Robinson Crusoe. So, where in my messy drawer is that eraser that I just threw in there but a moment ago? Well, here's a different eraser. Yeah, like that. Hand me my patching trowel, boy. So, Billy over here is repairing this old cobblestone shack. It's like made out of bricks and rocks. So what's he holding here? Oh, a rock, I think. Doesn't look like he's holding a rock, though. It looks like he's holding a hovering, I don't know what. She's like, they're like, wow, this place sure is beautiful now. She goes, yeah, except for that place. That looks like a dung heap or something. And he's like, hey. It's kind of a callback to a joke earlier in the story. M B U T T E. What a beaut. Some kind of antenna. So you know this is a stone shack from space. It's got a big metal antenna sticking out of it. Okay. This is all the inside. You may live in a shut-down shack. Okay. And there's some kind of like plug. I'll never know exactly what kind. Oh, it's to plug in this guy. I'll bet. Oops. I was just putting some grass on the ground. Alright. Okay. He's like, fine, you do it. And marches off. I'm leaving. Wait, that's his thumb. Here's his finger. I don't have to put up with this. I was trying to find last night. Every once in a while, I think I really liked Mad Magazine when I was a kid, but I mostly just liked one strip in Mad Magazine. And it's funny because I would read it. I really liked it, and then I found out that the artist was one of the artists on Ren and Stimpy, right? And that's Bill Ray, and he did this strip called Monroe. He drew it, and it was written by I forget who. I forget the name of the guy who wrote it. But it was my favorite thing in Mad Magazine. And I always look it up. It goes from 1997 to 2006, and then it came back after a while with some other artist, and that bummed me out that Bill Ray wasn't there anymore. But now I'm always thinking, I love a collection of Mad Magazine of that era. I would just like to have the whole Monroe. I've looked up to see if there was a Monroe collection. Of course, there isn't, because they have like collections of Spy versus Spy. They have collections of the mad side of whatever. They have collections of movie spoofs. I'm pretty sure, but no collection of Monroe. And then last night I was like, well, what if I slowly just buy all of those magazines off like eBay or Amazon or something? Like all the 97s, then all the 98s, all the 99s, all the... That would take forever. But and who knows how expensive that could be. Though I feel like I was seeing individual magazines for reasonable prices yesterday. I think. I would just like to get my hands on Monroe, at least. Though I did like other stuff in Mad Magazine. I liked the Mad Fold-ins, but I didn't like to wreck the magazine. So I would do it gently, so I wasn't actually folding it, but I could figure out the picture and what it says. The beautiful thing about the Mad Fold-ins was it would pose a question or like make a statement on top, like on the top or bottom of the picture, and then you'd fold it in, and the picture would become something new, and the question that it posed or whatever would become the response, or it would change what it said too once you folded it in. That was pretty cool. I was always impressed with that. Al Jaffe. Is that what his name was? Is that how you say his name? When I was reading Dr. Seuss to my nephews last night, I ended up Googling Dr. Seuss, and it actually wasn't pronounced Seuss in real life. Like for his children's books, it was pronounced Seuss, but and it was kind of reminiscent of Mother Goose, Dr. Seuss, Mother Goose, kind of was kind of the thinking, I think. But I guess Seuss was actually pronounced Zeus. Like the German name Zeus. Like, I guess he actually pronounced it Theodore Zeus Geisel. I don't think I ever knew that before. Dr. Seuss is one of the guys that I have this theory that you can kind of like see a person's art style in their appearance sometimes. I don't know. I always felt like Dr. Seuss looks like one of his drawings in a way. So here's Bonehead laughing at her making fun of his handiwork. I'm gonna go get another cup of tea. I should be just a couple of seconds here. It's right outside the door. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T. Ah. That's what the doctor ordered, so that's what the doctor got. Brought to you by the letter T. And viewers like you. So yeah, I still have to put up a t-shirt design on the TeePublic store that a friend wants me to put up. She wants me to put up a t-shirt with this drawing of a frog character named Reggie that I have. Though I feel like I could do it better than the drawing that she wants me to put up. But I also think I'm going to put, as of last night, I think I'm going to put up a Grover Cleveland design sometime soon. I meant to scan him in last night, and I didn't. I thought I was just looking at these drawings, and I was like, oh no, I flipped what hand is holding what from this panel to this panel, but I didn't. I kept the continuity. I'm always proud of myself when I keep the continuity. I know I had to have been thinking about that when I drew it, because I catch myself making stupid mistakes like that all the time throughout this book. In my defense, they're really easy mistakes to make. You just got to train yourself to pay attention. And that's one thing I'm starting. I'm kind of like starting to flex that part of my brain during the making of this book. Like watching my artwork for continuity. See, I've caught myself plenty of times, which means I'm at least actually keeping an eye out for it. Every mistake I catch is a mistake that doesn't end up in the book, right? As long as I correct it. Here's her long, luscious, beautiful hair. Oh. Ba-boom, boom, 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 boom. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm gonna get muted on Facebook. Just like the ones I used to know. Burp, burp, burp. Why that song of all songs? Because it probably gets stuck in my head all year round. The Drifters, ladies and gentlemen. Mail days, mail days, mail days, be merry and bright. And may all your Christmases be white. Yeah, she's got these little, there's a little overall pocket here. I don't think I drew that heretofore. Okay. Those are the only drawings. Oh, yeah, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Alright, that's enough of that. I'm gonna get my YouTube and Facebook channel bombed to the ground. You know, I always see in the corner when I'm on Twitch, on my, like, looking at my Twitch numbers and stuff. There's a thing that says you have 0 copyright claims. If you get 3 copyright claims, we'll nuke your channel. But I've had more trouble on YouTube. I've played music on my channel before where, like on Halloween, I just played a bunch of random Halloween music. I was like, I don't care. And YouTube had something to say about it. Like, that video is still up, but I'm just surprised it didn't seem to be a problem on Twitch at all. Am I invincible on Twitch? Probably. There's a tree down here. 3. Is it really? Dang. It's 2:35. So I'll spoil the rest of this page tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna get something to eat, I think, before I have to leave. So this has been Ink the Book Show. I'm gonna be working on some stuff to put into this show. I've got some stuff in the works for this show, even though the book is almost all inked. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm still working on it. I'll be coloring it and all that after I finish inking, and then. But I should be done inking the entire book this month, I'm thinking. And then I'll just be doing other art stuff, and then just showing off the rest of the trials, tribulations, and processes I come across for the rest of making this book, be it coloring, scanning, lettering, all that fun stuff. So anyway, if you care to, there's other videos you can click on, especially on YouTube, which is a little neglected these days, which is fine. But I just miss my YouTube people. So click around if you care to, and then what else? What else? I'm at 49 followers on YouTube, and then I'm at 30 followers on Twitch right now, which is pretty cool. I'm happy about it. And but I'm going to put a link in the description where you can find my social media and my little t-shirt shop that I was talking about uploading new designs to soon. And then what else? You can see the Bonehead cartoon that I previewed earlier in this stream. So there is your bushel of stuff to do. Go check it out. All right, I'm gonna eat lunch. Goodbye. Wash your tuchus.